Every cyber insurance policy written today carries an unpriced exposure. Encrypted corporate data is being siphoned from secure networks and stored on external holding servers. Regulatory bodies have established a definitive window for this risk. Between now and the mid-2030s, insured organizations must replace the cryptography protecting their data. This is driven by the harvest now, decrypt later threat. Adversaries are stockpiling encrypted information they cannot currently read. They're holding this data on the technical assumption that a cryptographically relevant quantum computer will exist by the mid-2030s to break legacy protocols like RSA 2048. Because this stolen data retains value over time, the exposure accumulates. Each policy renewal cycle that ignores the post-quantum transition compounds the insurer's eventual liability. The harvest now, decrypt later tactic establishes quantum decryption as a present-day operational reality, requiring immediate pricing action. To price that risk, underwriters require accurate measurement. Yet current quantum readiness questionnaires rely almost entirely on an insured organization's subjective self-assessment. Without a rigorous mathematical benchmark behind these self-attestations, the data provided is undefensible. These responses do not provide a reliable basis for adjusting premium pricing. Standard vulnerability scoring frameworks like CVSS contain a quantum blind spot. They treat all cryptographic protections as equally durable, assigning the identical security score to a legacy algorithm as they do to a post-quantum standard. Meanwhile, regulatory requirements from DORA, NIS2, and FCA operational resilience are setting mandates for quantum readiness, moving significantly faster than the market's assessment tools. Reinsurers are already tracking these mandates. They will demand clarity on the cyberpool's quantum exposure long before insured organizations have completed their cryptographic migrations. To bridge the gap between policy mandates and actuarial reality, the insurance industry requires an objective mathematical measurement layer to quantify the risk. Physivitis developed a dual framework solution to solve this. The first component is post-quantum readiness and security benchmarking, or QRESP. This framework replaces subjective questionnaires with a structured, vendor-neutral system designed to evaluate an organization's readiness across 5 specific domains. Pillar 1 measures cryptographic inventory completeness. Before an organization can migrate, it must definitively prove where its legacy cryptography currently resides across its network. Pillar 2 assesses migration planning maturity, analyzing the insured's strategic roadmap and budget for upgrading systems to meet the upcoming deadlines. Pillar 3 measures crypto agility. This tests the technical capability to swap outdated algorithms for new ones without requiring a full system re-architecture. Pillar 4 tracks supply chain quantum readiness, quantifying the specific vulnerabilities inherited from third-party software and external vendors. Pillar 5 calculates residual risk quantification, determining the remaining unmitigated exposure after the organization's current defenses are applied. By scoring these 5 domains, QRSB outputs a rigorous, defensible posture score rather than a simple attestation. This score gives underwriters the objective verification required to offer premium credits, apply debits, or write specific enforceable warranties into policy conditions. Evaluating corporate policy is a start, but it remains incomplete without technical measurement at the system level. This is where quantum-aware threat and vulnerability scoring, or QATSS, sits alongside standard CVSS frameworks to add the missing quantum dimension. On the left side of this assessment, you can see how standard CVSS evaluates a system protecting data with RSA 2048. It assigns it a static severity score of 6.5. If that same system were protected by a NIST-approved post-quantum algorithm, legacy CVSS still assigns up that exact same 6.5 score. On the right, QCTS accounts for the harvest now, decrypt later threat. It applies a mathematical modifier that lowers the risk score of the quantum secure system, while pushing the RSA 2048 system into the critical zone. This mathematical variance provides risk engineering teams with a technically sound basis for evaluating the actual exposure of an insured's network architecture. It allows underwriters to steer conversations toward specific remediation priorities rather than relying on generic security checklists. QCTS transforms the threat of future quantum decryption into a specific, quantifiable vulnerability score. To make these methodologies actionable, the data flows into the Unified Security Margin Calculator, or USMC. The USMC serves as the central calculation engine, ingesting both the QRES organizational posture score and the QCTS systemic vulnerability metrics. It runs these inputs through actuarial algorithms to generate defensible pricing models that translate directly into premium credits, debits, and accurate excess layer pricing. The engine also supplies underwriters with recognized technical standards, allowing them to draft enforceable policy warranties and conditions precedent. Finally, the engine aggregates these metrics across the entire book, generating portfolio scores to establish credibility during reinsurer reporting. The USMC acts as the structural bridge, converting cryptographic risk methodology into working numbers for a syndicate's daily underwriting operations. This image shows the architectural contrast between an ornate historical building and a modern high-exposure structure. It illustrates the cyber insurance industry's current challenge, balancing legacy digital foundations against the requirements of the post-quantum transition. The post-quantum market is currently dominated by vendors selling specific quantum-safe hardware solutions, such as hardware security modules, VPNs, and advanced encryptors. These products are sold to the insured side of the equation. This leaves underwriters without dedicated tools to measure the effectiveness of those technical implementations. Physivitis acts as a measurement layer sitting between the technical products implemented by the insured and the actuarial tables utilized by carriers. The methodology strictly aligns with NIST PQC standards, alongside published guidance from NCSC, CISA, NC, and BSI. This direct alignment ensures the scoring framework moves in tandem with the global regulatory direction of travel. Utilizing a regulatory-aligned measurement framework ensures that a carrier's pricing models will hold their value as compliance mandates take effect. To adopt this capability, Physivitis provides 3 practical engagement paths, scaled by the depth of integration required. Path 1 is the initial briefing. This is a technical session covering the methodology, scoring algorithms, and worked examples applied to a typical mid-market insured. Path 2 is pilot integration. Here, Physivitis applies QRESB scoring against an anonymized sample of a carrier's bound or quoted book. This process produces a written quantum exposure baseline, allowing internal teams to test the framework's value against their own data. Path 3 is the methodology license. This is a long-term commercial engagement where QRESB and QTCS are fully integrated into a carrier's daily operations. This phase gives risk engineering practices full access to the USMSC calculation engine to verify premium adjustments. The quantum transition has moved from an unquantifiable future risk to a measurable vulnerability impacting portfolios today. It is time to begin pricing it.